look at all the dead material that it picked up. Welcome back, and thanks for tuning in to another video. So today's video, we're going to be doing a quick overview update on my dethatching and overseed process this spring. I know you guys haven't seen me in a while. It's been about 3 weeks since my last video, so I think we're about due for a quick update, and I'm going to show you guys everything that I used and how everything went so far. So stay tuned and let's go over it right now. All right, so as you guys can see, this is the yard in its current state. It definitely need to be mowed down. It's been about 34 days since I overseeded the yard. It's been well over a month since I dethatched it, and about 26 days since I did hit the yard with the starter fertilizer by Scott's. And remember, if you remember that last video when I said I was going to lay that Scott's starter fertilizer down, that I was going to get a lot of growth because of that nitrogen, that high nitrogen, and all of that phosphorus, and basically all that fertilizer that was going down. So the current grass that's in there fed on that real nice. This is the natural color. I'm going to show you guys what grass seed I used also. The yard is a turf type tall fescue, but as you see, it popped in real nice and it needs a mow. I haven't mowed it at all yet, so we're going to go over that. Y'all gonna see the first mow also, but I'm going to get close up on some spots. If you guys live in that northeast area, you know what I'm talking about. The weather hasn't been very ideal yet, so you know the grass is growing at its own pace. The new seedlings is growing at its own pace because you know you got to get the germination and got to build its root system first, and then you'll get top growth. So you can't rush that process. But I'll give you guys some close-ups on the yard. But how you guys think the overall process did? Spring overseeding, that's one of the main issues when you do a spring overseeding, is you're kind of racing against time, because you don't get that full fall into winter into spring for your grass to actually germinate and the root system to develop. So a lot of people stay away from like overseeding and basically doing renovations in the springtime, because you know you got to make sure your root system is developed before them summer months hit, and you know you're really on limited time, because sometimes in this northeast area it takes a little while for it to actually warm up. If you know what I'm talking about, if you guys live in the northeast area, you know what I'm talking about. Some years you'll get a quick spring green up and ideal, you know, better weather conditions, and then some years it kind of just lingers and it still feels like fall even in the springtime. So far we had a slow process of weather conditions here. It's been up. Some days it's been like 65. You might reach 170-degree day, and then it's dropped all the way back down to the 40s and 30s. So that's the problem with overseeding in the spring here in this northeast area. If I ain't tell you guys, this is a turf type tall fescue yard. So even when you're doing a fescue overseed, you need at least, you know, it's gonna say germinate in 7 to 14 days, but you need at least, I'm gonna say 40 to 50 days just for the top growth alone. Germination is for the seed to start sprouting. Basically top growth, that's gonna happen with depending on the weather, your watering, and everything of that nature. So you know and that's just fescue. If you're doing bluegrass, the germination time is even pushed back even further. It take up to 30 days for germination. So you'll see a little bit of growth, but then you'll get to that sprout and pout stage where it's just sitting there and it's not giving you top growth. And you don't want to push too much fertilizer on it, because you don't want to push it too hard too fast. So you just got to kind of let it do its thing. We're up top, so I want to give you guys the comparison of when I dethatched the yard. So now, as you guys can see there, take a look at that. This is why you want to dethatch your yard, because you want to go ahead and get all of that dead material out of the yard, so your current grass, and if you're overseeding, that new grass can actually thrive and do a lot better. This is the grass natural color. The grass seed that I use is by Greenview. I'll show you the bag. All right, so here's the grass seed that I use. It's by Greenview Fairway Formula grass seed. pure seed, more coverage. That's what it's claiming. Turf type tall fescue, sun and shade blend. Only thing is, I go back and forth between the full shade and the this sun and shade mix. So this is a 7-pound bag. It runs about 35 bucks. Normally I buy it a little bit bigger in the 20-pound bag or the 25-pound bag, depending on what my local lawn and garden shop carries. But it's, like I said, it's very basic. As you can see, these are the 3 mixtures here of the fescue that comes in the bag. The weed seed. Now, I don't really worry about the weed seed. A lot of people complain about this part, the weed seed. This one claims to have 0 weed seed in it. You're still gonna have to weed it anyway, depending on where you're planting your grass. Your soil might have weeds, so I don't really let that one bother me. People complain and say, oh, well, it's too much weed seed in there. You don't really know. Anybody can put anything on a label, so you're still gonna have to fight off weeds anyway and protect yourself. That's why I use the Scott starter fertilizer, or the mesotrione tenacity, basically. And look, this is the origins, where it comes from, germination rates. Pretty basic. Now, normally it says the sell by date March 2023, test date is December 2021. I can normally keep my grass seed up to 1.5 years, maybe 2 years. I've used grass seed that was like 2 years old and still had success with it. So as long as you keep it in a cool, dry place, it should be fine. Basic directions over here: prepare your soil, existing lawns, plant seeds. Now this one is the biggest tip here when it comes to weed control on your new grass. A lot of people fail to realize this part here. You want to make sure you get 3 mows. That's on any grass seed. Any grass seed that you're planting, you want to get 3 mows, or wait at least 45 days before you actually throw any kind of weed control product on it. If it's not tenacity or the starter fertilizer. If you're going to use something like Spectricide or Bio Advance, those stronger kind of weed control products in the yard on new grass seeds, you want to make sure you wait before you do any kind of weed control, because those chemicals can kill off your new grass before it strengthens itself. So you don't want to move too quickly, or fertilizing like too hard too quickly. You don't want to just pump fertilizer down on new grass seed without letting it strengthen itself. So a lot of people fail on that, those rules alone. But as you can see here, this is the grass seed I use. So if you guys are interested, you could get this grass seed at Home Depot, Walmart, or Lowe's online. I've never seen it carried in the store. You may find it in your local lawn and garden shop if you're interested, or you could just, or Amazon also. So this is the grass seed. Hope you guys that answered any of your questions. So now that you guys got an official yard review of my overseed and dethatching process, what do you guys think? How do you guys think it turned out? And did you guys do an overseed and dethatching process this spring? Normally, I would do this process in the fall, because fall gives you the best time, because you got the fall, winter, and spring for your seed to germinate and the roots to basically strengthen up. But I didn't get a chance to do it last fall, so I had no choice but to get all that dead material out of the grass this year. And as you can see, it is doing some justice on the current grass and the grass seed. Everything looks real green. I don't have that brownish undertone, because if you leave that dead material there, you'll have that brown undertone basically laying over top of the soil, and it'll be blocking a lot of the nutrients out from your current grass, your good grass, from feeding on that good soil, moisture, everything of that nature. So how you guys think I did? Leave it in the comment section. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to keep up with me this lawn season, and hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. Next time you guys see, I will be mowing the yard, and I'm going to show you what I like to do on my first spring mow, how I like to maintain my yard. And also, I'd like to thank you guys for getting me to that 5K mark. It's been 4 years, but I finally hit the 5K mark, so the 5K subscriber mark. So I appreciate you guys for doing that for me. and I hope I was entertaining and you guys learned anything or just enjoyed my process over those last 4 years. So I truly appreciate that. So I'm gonna end this video. Like I said, I'd like to thank you guys once again, and stay tuned for the next video. I'll see you again. Take care.